Alrighty, my thoughts on Fable: The Lost Chapters. I played this game through on the Xbox, and it's another one of the games that I have played through quite well, a fair number of times. Not nearly as many as Knights of the Old Republic, but certainly more than a greater number of times than the second Knights of the Old Republic. You know, I again, me being in my late 20s at this point, I was around contemporarily when this was released, and my older brother bought it for the Xbox way back in the day, and we were completely blown away by it again. It was something that we had never seen before. Again, we were mainly console gamers. We hadn't done a whole lot of PC gaming, and I know that around this time they had games, even on the Xbox actually, like Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls, and stuff like that, that were more open world and more customizable than this game, but we never really played that game. I was the one who bought that game. That was a couple years after the fact. Fable: The Lost Chapters. We originally played the first Fable. We're pretty much satisfied with it. It was a very, very interesting game. You could do a lot of things with it. It was very entertaining. I positively thrilled to all the accents. I absolutely love them, to tell you the truth. Uh, just all the trashy Cockney that all these people talk and everything. It's just unforgettable. Um, Again, the graphics are nice, bright, and colorful, although a bit washed out, if you ask me, especially when the sun is high in the sky. Again, this is probably the first game we played with a somewhat real-time day-night cycle. Of course, it doesn't take as long as an authentic day or night. But so the game is, I think it serves its purpose very well. I mean, it certainly didn't live up to what the creators and the publicizers, or yeah, what they said it would be like. Again, they were harping it as basically like, well, a modern day open world sandbox RPG like you'd get with like The Witcher 3 or something. Or again, I'm just guessing. I've never even played that game. I've just seen my little brother play it, and I've kind of sat there for maybe a consecutive 2 hours and just kind of watched him play it and shit like that. Um, I don't really know a game that I could compare, like an actual, like, it's sort of like a life sim at some points, right? Because you start off as a kid and then you grow up into teenage years and then to adult years and then to your prime, right? You can end up being all like 80 years old in this game. But no, so where to start with this game? The combat itself is entertaining. It's never the same either way, though. Definitely, as you can see from my playthrough, if you watch it, which nobody does, but whatever. Uh, I usually go straight up for the offensive. I barely ever use bows or anything like that, or spells. That is, offensive spells. I usually just run at people with my sword and just start hacking at them, right? That's usually the best way to go, I've always found. Uh, Story-wise, um, it's actually quite linear story-wise. Again, there are a lot of different things that you can do. You can buy houses and rent them out. I mean, you can get married several times. You can have children. You can be gay, straight, bisexual. Doesn't matter. Um, and you can buy and trade things. It's got so many different genres in it and everything. You could like manage stock markets by like trading sacks of flour, or what we traded gems, I believe, especially at the store in Bowerstone North. Though that's a whole lot later in the game. Uh, so it's really a jack of all trades, but definitely a master of none. Even though I'm probably using that idiom improperly, but whatever. Um, Now, as I said with the combat, I find it very strange that there are no shields in the game, even though it's constantly advertised in the game that they would have shields. In fact, many traders who you go to, um, they they say swords, armor, shields, we have it all. And they don't have it at all. You can kind of see little shields kind of lying about on the ground, but you can't pick them up and use them at all. Even though Thunder seems to be using a shield, though I'm not sure if he ever blocks with it. I think he might have the same sort of character model and movements as a lot of the other characters in the game. So basically everybody just runs around carrying a single sword or an axe or a club and just block with it as if it were like a big staff or something. Which, I kind of didn't like. I thought, having a shield would be able to customize things. I mean, it'd give you extra defense points and everything. It'd be, it's just another thing it's just another customizable option that just wasn't there, right? So, but so with the experience thing, the experience system I would say is fundamentally flawed, if you ask me. I know that there are so many different ways that you can earn experience, but again, a lot of the times they show people like, oh, I want to be a wizard or something, throwing fireballs at people, or I want to be a rogue or a stealthy assassin or an all-out warrior. And I think in a game like this, as I said, with the experience system the way it is, you can be all those things in a single playthrough all at the same time. Because again, the game does not realistically end in any way, shape, or form unless you progress through all of the quests, right? I mean, you could just keep on continually killing the same guys over and over and over and over again, and then you would find yourself with ass loads of experience to spend on whatever you want. And I mean, you don't close yourself off from another form of learning if you master one form, right? Which I kind of thought, would have added a little bit more variety, at least in terms of number of playthroughs, right? So if you leveled up all of your strength stats, then you'd be less stealthy. Like you would not be able to get as stealthy, or your guile wouldn't be as high, or your dexterity wouldn't be as refined or anything like that, which would again allow for an interesting second playthrough, right? Because you could play through the game as a hardcore buffed out warrior, or you could try the stealthy route and be an assassin, or you could try the mystical route and be a sorcerer, right? But again, in this game you can be all things all at once, right? All you really need to do is just gain the experience, and you are not penalized in any way for leveling up any kind of ability or physical trait. I mean, you have will experience, you have general experience, you have strength experience, and you have skill experience, right? So, and of course, when you're leveling up those respective attributes, they first drain the respective pool of experience points, such as if you wanted to become more brawny, then it would only drain from your strength skill points, right? And then after that, if there was need for them, they would drain off of your general experience, right? So, I mean, it's very useful. I'll say it's convenient, I would say, because no matter what, you're always gaining experience that you could use on anything. But again, it kind of just limits the game to just one single playthrough if you figure it out, right? Which pretty much everybody does the first time around. That you can just basically keep on killing guys, and depending on which attacks you use, if you just keep on hitting people, or use your bow, or you throw fireballs at people, or just keep on using magic, then you can level up. You can level up every single attribute and basically become a god in all stats, right? So, I mean, yeah, many times before I've said this, but again, it really limits the number of times that you can play through and have the game be different. The same goes if for your moral alignment. Now, there are certain quests that you can do only once per playthrough as good or evil. But the thing is, you can rocket yourself from super, super good to disgustingly, immorally evil several times, pretty much as many times as you want in a single playthrough, right? So, I mean, you might not, if you kill Whisper or you kill Thunder, or actually, I don't even think you kill Thunder. I think he fucks off after you beat him in the fight. But no, yeah, as I said, or there are certain quests, like as I said in the the fighting arena. If you kill Whisper, I mean that's a one-time quest. Do it right or wrong, or um, like whether or not you want to keep the Sword of Aeons or throw it into the swirling abyss, which was Jack of Blades, or get Avo's Tear, whatever. So, and again, I think that's a Lost Chapters quest, Avo's Tear. I'm not entirely certain. Um, Now, and if that's the case, I think that it was right and proper that they added that into the gameplay because it made Maze more of a tragic hero and less of just well, a coward who was only thinking of himself, right? Because I mean, again, spoiler alert, just watch the video or play the game yourself, or just read Wikipedia, whatever. Um, but of course, May's the guy who saves you in the beginning from your burning village after it's sacked by the bandits. I don't know this, again. It's like I haven't played the original game for the longest time. Uh, Probably since Fable: The Lost Chapters came out, which might have been in like 2005 or something. So yeah, I'm operating off of memories that are like 12 years old because really there's no point in playing the original game if you have The Lost Chapters. It has the entire original game. I'm not sure if there are any changes or modifications to like fix bugs or anything. I'm very certain that they're all present, and believe me, there are a lot of not necessarily bugs, but I mean like programming oversights that you can seriously just end up lambasting just to just to make the playthrough of the game that much more easy, honestly. But yeah, no. As I was saying with Maze, I'm not sure if I think this is a quest that happens after you defeat Jack of Blades, so I'm not entirely certain if this was in the original game. But Maze was trying to get Avo's Tear, which was supposedly the only sword that was able to defeat Jack of Blades or something. I think I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe you just get it automatically if you discard the Sword of Aeons or something. Um, I may be completely wrong about this. I'm not looking this up on the fly, honestly. This is a live recording and everything, so uh, yeah. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I think that you were only able to read Maze's journal and have him talk about the fact that he was actually trying to save the world, but was unable to because of his fear that was gripping him. Like he was too afraid to fight Jack of Blades, so he was not deemed worthy of the sword by the ancient spirits, right? Some shit like that. I don't know. Whatever. Um, so I guess I'll talk more about the combat system now. As I said, this is of course all obvious and everything, but you can get general experience as well as three other little areas of experience. And the funny thing is that every way that I've played it, as well as my brothers and everything, we were the gamers in our house that is. And of course, so many other people have probably done this, but again, it's my experience. I'm the one who's telling the story, right? Honestly, the first spell that I would say to master or to even start, is Physical Shield. Again, this is another programming oversight that I spoke of. Physical Shield is so easy to exploit, honestly, because Physical Shield shields you from damage to your body, so you don't lose what's called your combat multiplier. And your combat multiplier, of course, as it is well named, it multiplies the amount of experience you get through combat, right? And it can happen for both strength, skill, will, as well as general experience points. So if you're attacking a guy and you get like a times 10 modifier, and he would normally give you 10 experience, you'd get 1,000 experience of general experience. And I don't know if he gave you 4 experience, then he'd give you 40 experience points. Yeah. So no, I'm fucking high, honestly. 10 times 10 would be 100 if that's what I said. Yeah, so derpader, right? This is live. Well, whatever, life is life. But yeah, so your combat multiplier, it would modify your combat by however uh, by however many times it would say. So you strike a person, you get 4x, and then 8x, and then 10x, 11, 12, 13. Then it would slowly increase as the numbers got higher. So that's a way to maximize the amount of experience points that you get from every fight. However, it was so easy to exploit because a lot of the times, and again, maybe this is a programming oversight, but the game tells you the longer you hold your bow back, the more damage you will do. So I guess they did not program a limit into how long you could hold your bow back, because if you stretch the bow back for maybe 2 minutes and then strike any powerful character with a lot of HP, you can get as much of as maybe like a 55 to 60 times combat multiplier, right? So if you do this against an earth troll, which I think is maybe 25 times or something, and then a rock troll, which is maybe 50 times, and then I think in Fable: The Lost Chapters you can get like up to 60 times or something. This is again from personal experience. Um, uh, you can get several thousand experience points from a single battle, right? So and again, you can lock onto your targets, right? So all you have to do is just keep holding your bow back and dodging all of their physical attacks. And again, this is where physical shield comes in so nicely, because it stops you from getting hit. Like everything just bounces off at you, like you don't recoil or anything. So you just keep on just soaking up damage, and after you fire your bow and you defeat your foe, you get a times 60 combat multiplier, and then you get a shit ton of experience points. And another again programming oversight is that if you keep on hitting things like with your sword, or if you keep on shooting arrows at things, or if you just keep on casting spells, and not just casting spells like attacking people with spells, but just simply casting the spell itself, can continually just net you so much experience, right? Like this was the first time that I had thought of it, right? Because I had seen my brother doing it before, but I guess it never clicked on in my head. Is that once you get like your times 60 combat multiplier, if you want to get a whole lot of will experience, just keep activating and turning off magical shield or physical shield, and you will continually net thousands of will experience, and you'll be able to do it like 20 times if you have a large magic meter, which again you can level up regardless of your physical, mental, magical, or skillful finesse, right? So that's why I would say that the experience system is inherently flawed, but it is flawed in sort of a good way, because I mean it definitely helps you along there in that regard. But again, yeah, as of that point, once you get physical shield, uh, leveling up your character literally becomes a cakewalk. I mean, it's just so easy, right? I mean, you net experience points by the thousands, and pretty much you're like halfway leveled up on all of your main stats by like to be maybe like 20% into the game, right? So uh, some people might not like that. Some people may love that. I absolutely loved it, honestly. I'm a big fan of definitely over leveling your character. I do it all the time in the first RPG I ever played, which was Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. Love that game, even though it was so simple. But yeah, so that's pretty much the combat multiplier there for you. The some of the bugs there, yeah. Uh, Other times, as you'll notice if in my playthrough, if you watch it, I gotta tell you, this game was never this hard to play through. Again, I had not played this game in several years, maybe like 4 or 5 years or something, since I last played it all the way through, maybe like 2011, and this is compared to when I was uploading these videos. Uh, it just seems so much harder to beat, and I have no idea why. Uh, and one thing that I'll say was so much harder is trying to get Skorm's bow. That was such a fucking ordeal. Oh my god, I fucking hated that shit. Like, every single time I would play through this game several years ago, I would be able to get it pretty much right after I'd beaten the Wasp Queen or something. You sacrifice one or two of the traders or something, or like the assassins, or like your little helper guys that would come along with you at like 12 midnight or something, and you just get it right then and there. So you pretty much had the best bow at the very beginning of the game, and I always did that all the time throughout all of my earlier playthroughs. And the thing is, this time I have no fucking idea why, but I think I spent like an entire fucking video, like over an hour or something, just waiting, sacrificing the same guys, reloading, saving, and I just never got it. And I couldn't tell you why, because I was never that far light-sided or that far dark-sided either way or anything. Here I am, light side, dark side from the Star Wars universe, but whatever. Um, so again, that was such a fucking ordeal. I was so glad when I finally got it, because I could not tell you why I wasn't getting it, because I just never had that trouble before. So, unfortunately, I had to go through a good deal of the game with, severely substandard bows and arrows as weapons, you know. And of course, that hindered my ability to gain extra experience points because, the Storm's bow being the strongest bow in the game, it will inherently net you more experience because you do more damage, which gives you a higher combat multiplier. But yeah, no. So that was a pain in the ass. What else was there? I'm just kind of clicking through my videos here now. Now, yeah, everybody hates Whisper. She sucks. Yeah, sometimes, one thing that I would do, as of course you can see in the videos, is to gain experience. This is, of course, later on when I'm a good deal stronger. I fight guards in the local villages because they just keep on coming, right? And they have high enough health points that they continually net you so many experience points, especially the red and black guards later on. Those are their dress colors, not their skin colors, of course. But yeah, no, I would usually go to Oak Vale, or again, the Hob Cave is a great place, or as I said, the rock trolls and the earth trolls, and well, later on the ice trolls. But then again, I don't think that anybody would need to be grinding levels at that point. But because that's way too late in the game to be doing something like that. So again, as I said, there are a lot of different things you can do. There are like social aspects of the game, like you can interact with people and give them things and they'll become your friend, or they'll be afraid of you if you're an evil person or stuff like that. Certain things that you wear make you more or less handsome or anything like that. Again, it was something that nobody had ever really seen before, and I think that this game excelled in a few aspects of it, but again, um, it just wasn't as just do anything you want kind of thing, right? I mean, it was originally released for the Xbox, so it is a console RPG, and I think that for the most part it holds true to that formula. Now the demon doors are interesting. Usually I would get all of the demon doors, but I mean, again, in this playthrough, I don't know, I found everything more difficult to do. And unfortunately, I kind of fucked up with the demon doors a few times because one of the demon doors, I think in the bandit's path, like just before Twin Blades Camp, he says, "Oh, where is the glorious knight I await? Where is the bandit? And then where is the will user?" Unfortunately, I hadn't gone to that demon door very recently because I thought that well, earlier in the game, so because I thought that the reward wasn't worth it at all. And I was thinking of doing like a sort of loose ends video after I had completely finished the epilogue that was the Lost Chapters expansion. But I had unfortunately realized that I had sold several different articles of clothing, namely the Will User's outfit and the Bandit outfit, not only to just store owners in certain cities, but to random traders walking up and down the like Barrow Fields or in Greatwood. So unfortunately, I did not know of any way to get those back, so I just said, fuck it, it's not worth it. So I threw those out the window. Now, again, like, why no shields? Like, honestly, why no shields? Your character looks so awkward just walking around with a sword with, their arm just hanging out there. It's like, again, yeah, I have no fucking idea. Honestly, that made no sense to me. I'm still harping on that. I thought it would be so much better because, like, every fucking game has a shield, for God's sakes. Uh, no, yeah, so unfortunately in this playthrough I was using some very substandard weaponry. Um, yeah, this was it was a certain nice walk down the memory lane, but again, no, it's the same sort of thing, right? And a lot of the times I found myself getting really frustrated, especially sometimes at the fishing thing. Uh, I don't know. Everything just seemed more difficult. And I don't know. Maybe I'm getting older and I mean, I don't have that eye-hand coordination I did back when I was a youngin'. But again, I hate action-oriented games, and I only played through this game simply because it's a role-playing game that, through perseverance and through work, you can level up your character to a point where the game will be easy and you can beat it, right? Like there's no chance involved necessarily, right? As is the case with most platform games, there's a lot of chance involved. I mean, again, you might fall off a platform, you might get hit by a bullet bill and stuff like this. Of course, I'm talking more about like Super Mario World there, but it makes a whole lot of sense once you think about it. So that's why I chose to play this game here. And again, like you can have expressions and everything, which are entertaining to watch the first few times, but again, it's just cycled responses, so it isn't that customizable. It's not like go anywhere you want, do anything you want. That I would reserve more for the Elder Scrolls game series, especially once Oblivion came around. Um, Now, oh my God, I hated the escort quests. I could not stand them. I hated them in GoldenEye. I hate them in every single game. Uh, they're there just to make the game harder. They're there to pad it out, and they're there just to fucking piss you off, right? Um, Plus, I mean, a lot of the times, your quests are all for naught, right? After they're done, you can't do a whole lot of anything with the people that you save or anything. Uh, yeah, and I mean the traitor escorts and everything, having to defend them from Balverines and all that shit. I mean, fuck. It's like, I don't know. Like, use your minds. Think of something more creative. Think of something more interesting, right? Other than just like capture the flag, fetch quest, protect the useless idiots who just end up getting themselves killed, and you have to start the damn quest over again. Uh, so yeah, that was a pain in the ass and everything. And again, a lot of these earlier quests, and these silver quests and everything that you get from the guild, it's busy work, honestly. It's I don't know, it's just not very interesting at all. So you kind of want to progress with the story as soon as possible. If again you're not just grinding out levels like I was. Um, I don't know. It's funny how Whisper keeps getting her ass whooped, but then always acts so cocky and everything. You know what? That brings me to something that I've realized over several playthroughs and several years of thinking about this game. Uh, it's supposed to be like a big moral choice later on in the game when you're in the arena and you have the chance to kill your old friend Whisper. Uh, but you know what? To be absolutely honest, this is where I think the writers in the game, at least I don't know, whoever was responsible, dialogue writers or the director or whatever, they dropped the ball on this one, I gotta tell you, because everybody wanted to kill Whisper. Like the vast majority of people wanted to kill Whisper just to see what it was like, right? Because Whisper is not a sympathetic character. Whisper was never your friend. I compare it to it's akin to Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy. Your character being Harry Potter and Whisper being Malfoy. You have always constantly been at odds. Like no good has ever come out of any kind of interaction between you and the other person. Uh, it's she's not a sympathetic character. She's not a character that anybody likes, and therefore they drop the ball because you're supposed to feel bad or feel pity and that sort of thing and spare her. You're supposed to do the moral thing, but you know what? The feeling just isn't there, right? Like it just doesn't exist, honestly, because the character is written in a way that that it's more satisfying to to give her a painful end, right? I mean, that's not the way you should be thinking, right? But again, yeah, they could have, like, there was a never there she would always call you farm boy and everything. I am so much better than you and everything like that. It's like, it's like, God damn it, just shut up. It's like, I'm waiting for this moment. So I mean, again, it's like, there's just there's nothing satisfying coming out of doing the moral thing, because I don't know, they inherently wrote Whisper and her older brother Thunder to be shitty, unlikable characters, right? So that's definitely my idea. And again, if you end up killing Whisper and you have to fight Thunder, I mean, again, it's more satisfying to fight Thunder than anything else, because all they've ever done is disrespect you throughout your entire life. I mean, fuck, like, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, you're at your wit's end a lot of the time. Everybody has a breaking point, right? But no, so yeah, that was one of the more disappointing aspects. I mean, simply because, like, and the same thing with Briar Rose. I mean, like, every character that you work with seems to be an asshole, right? Like Briar Rose, Thunder, Whisper. Sometimes the Guildmaster can be a dick, even though he's just basically there to guide you through the game. Again, Maze is kind of a jerk sometimes, but again, it's like just nobody seems to be like your friend, right? I mean, you don't have a Karth guy, right? Again, it's not the same kind of game, but yeah, I mean, you're just kind of constantly bombarded with these crappy, unlikable characters that you're just waiting to die, right? So, whether by your hand or not. So yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing where you kill Whisper is kind of underwhelming in that respect. Um, yeah. So, and again, you have a great deal of different places to go in this game. I kind of found myself losing track of where certain locations were, especially since you can only warp to certain locations, and you can't go to Darkwood Weir, or you can't go to Greatwood Lake or something necessarily. I don't think. Um, and again, sometimes with again, I'm clicking through my video here with boasting and everything. Boasting is very useful. You get more money from your boasts, right? So I would say definitely take no damage, right? However, to me, the no protection boast should have included in its description a reference to physical shield, because physical shield can be seen as protection, even though it says wear no armor, right? That's all it says. So that can easily make you lose a lot of money there. So you'll have to either just take the hit or start the quest over again. So because again, uh, that's not immediately obvious, So um, other times, you know, huh. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, since I took the boast, I had to do it. Hmm, it's a little strange. I don't know. Uh, I'm doing it. Huh. I don't know. I'm just confusing myself. I was just watching a battle in which I guess I took the no protection boast, but then again, I still had on physical shield, so I guess I was just trying to make the best of a shitty situation. Um, and then again, the silver keys. I didn't. I had heard of the glitch where you could get multiple silver keys on a certain quest, like the Trader Escort quest, but I heard that if you did it too many times, you might fuck up your game. So I did not want to do it too many times, of course, because again, I'm recording this and uploading it on YouTube. So I mean, if I fuck up my save, I have all of that gameplay just to go right back through and try to do a lot of the same things over again to make sure that it's all seamless as possible. But yeah, no, I didn't get all of the silver keys in the game, and I wasn't willing to go through and get the silver chests as well as the demon doors, right? Again, I just didn't think at that point in the game it was worth getting them. Yeah, of course, at that point in the game, you've beaten all the quests and everything. There's just literally nothing to do after, and it becomes very obvious when even game-centric characters like the Guildmaster, you kind of walk up to them and try talking to them, and they kind of bob and weave and everything. Their mouths move and everything, but nothing comes out, like no subtitles or anything, right? So you're just sitting there and you're like, fuck, I'm stuck in endless video game limbo. It's like I'm in fucking purgatory or something. I can't do anything, right? you know it's like I'm just stuck in like an endless hell. God, I hated this escort quest with the kid. Plus, taking him home to his grandmother who looked like a witch and everything. Probably not the best character model to use. And of course, the kid ends up leaving anyway, so that's one of the like the pointless side quests and everything. Uh, Plus, I found that getting certain people to follow you, like especially for that demon door where you had to do so many bad things, like eat a bunch of crunchy chicks or whatever, yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Because you couldn't, you had to be in direct sight of the damn demon door, which of course a lot of the characters wouldn't follow you right to there. But and yeah, depending on how light side or dark side you were, you had to do a lot of bad things to get that shit done, right? So again, a lot of the time, certain quests or certain little aspects of the game, certain quirks of the game are just they're not worth the time that you would spend on it. And I got to tell you, now that I remember it, while escaping Bargate Prison, unfortunately, the section where I fight the Kraken, that was unfortunately it had to be deleted because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the footage I had recorded onto the VHS tape become irreparably corrupted. It was terrible. I have 3 separate VCRs and I could not make it play back properly on any of them on either of the 3. So I had to cut out, like, I don't know, maybe the first 10 minutes or something of that video. So that was an unfortunate aspect of it. I had heard no grinding noise or any strange behavior from the VCR while recording it. So yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I'm not sure what happened with that, but yeah, that was unfortunate. That's all I can really say about that. Sorry, but whatever. Yeah, a lot of the times the stuff you find in chests are useless. Sometimes they're neat, but whatever. Money is always nice. Yeah, what's the best sword? Like, is it like the Solus Greatsword or something? Is that what people were using at the time? I don't know. Again, it's like damage like 318 damage. I don't know. Uh, but yeah. So I decided not to do a whole lot of other things. Sort of things like marry other people. I mean, I married Lady Grey, of course, because I killed Whisper. Got rid of Thunder. Uh, didn't choose to have kids or anything like that. It just didn't seem necessary to me. I just kind of ignored it. I just wanted to get through the game itself, honestly. Because I mean, again, if you want to see me just being like a real estate tycoon, renting out all the buildings that I've bought or that have been vacated or people that I've killed or something like that, uh, that could interesting, I guess, a little bit. Though I guess the view counts say not so, but whatever. Again, I just didn't. I didn't deem it worth it. It was just padding to waste my time, of which I have precious little of, because this isn't my job. I have an actual, well, an outside job, a job in society. I guess this is sort of like running your own TV show, but I still do it just for a hobby, right? You know, Having the guy read storybooks in class is really entertaining. I think it's very, very humorous, very entertaining. I don't know if I completed that quest either. Things just seem to end randomly, and I just wouldn't be able uh, to to progress them anymore. The chicken kicking competition was I don't even know if I completed that. I got a silver key out of it, and that's all I was really concerned with. Ah, yes, the time where I try to get where I try to get Scorm's bow. This is going to take a while, as can be seen. Dumpa 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 doo. This video is not a whole lot, not a whole lot going on there. Video number 6. Yeah. Shops and trading. I like the little blurbs on the loading screen. Gives you something to do while the game's loading, and sometimes it can actually take a little while to get stuff done in terms of loading times. But Chapel of Scorn, Ancient Cullis Gate, Oakvale. Yeah, sorry, this is dead air. This is what everybody would call dead air at this point. Oh, those pixies, I hated them. They shoot little vines at you that attack you. And yeah, no, I look like such a goofball in the early part of the game because I don't know, like I wouldn't have a whole lot of money to spend on better equipment, so I just put on whatever that I found to just give me armor. So I'm walking around with leather armor and the Cutlass Bluetane while wearing a light will user's hat and everything. So I don't know. Yeah, you do what you can, right? I'm poor. I'm poor. But whatever. Number 7. I'm watching this on the VLC so I can speed everything up, and of course still I'm just kind of clicking through everything here. Yeah, again, it's like I'm at like level 5 with everything here, and I don't even think I have. How far am I in the game here? I have the Cutlass Bluetane. I've done the hob killing quest with Whisper. I've done the escorting the kid back to his grandmother quest. What do I go to? Trader escort, whichever trader escort that is. But yeah, no, again, it's like just you can exploit the hell out of the experience system, and the game becomes unbelievably easy at that point. There are, of course, a few hard battles, especially when the attacks are so just bombarding and common and frequent and powerful that you're gonna just chug down your will potions and everything like that. But again, they're cheap as hell, and you can come across them by the dozen, right? So the only real time I had trouble was definitely probably the ending fight uh, with Jack of Blades in his dragon form. That was a shit ton harder than I remember it being, and I have no idea why. Even though I had pretty much leveled up my character in the same way and was using the same weapons and everything like that. As I said again, it's probably just my old hands and my old dull mind. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on here. There was something wrong with another tape, so one of my videos is only like 2 minutes long, or maybe I combined it with the other one. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so this is probably, yeah, this is Twin Blades Camp right now. So, yeah, I haven't even done Twin Blades Camp right now, even at this point, and I'm 2 levels away from every stat to being maxed out. So that just gives you an idea of how the combat system works. And the fight with Twin Blade again is it's disappointing at the end. It's kind of a letdown because I thought maybe you could get like a piece of his armor, or better yet his blades or something, because I mean Twin Blade does not come back in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't even know if oh, what's wrong? Don't you recognize your own sister? Of course I'm watching my video right now, and it goes through its little the comic cutscenes are actually really interesting. I think they're really well drawn and everything. They properly illustrate the point and everything. But again, She watched as the bandits tortured her mother, then turned to her with questions of the missing boy. I don't know why they thought you were so important, or I guess you were Scarlet Robe's son or something. But yeah, it's like they blinded her because she was silent or something. Pretty harsh, honestly, even for bandits. Yikes, buddy. Seriously, come on, right? Um, and then it's like, of course, they treated her like a slave and everything, and but then as she grew up, she you know like whenever the bandits pissed her off, she killed them, right? And then she comes to you and says, hasn't there been enough death? Hasn't there been enough killing? Oh, you mean like killing on your part there? Yeah, because that's your fucking fault there. Yeah. Or will dark prophetic truths in her sleep or something, because again, as I said, like in uh most other RPGs, the the main woman of the game always turns out to be mystical or something. Um, yeah, those who could not accept this small blind person here. When they attacked, she killed them without mercy and without emotion. Yeah. So why the fuck are you giving me a hard time for killing Twinblade, the guy who fucking killed your family? Fuck. It's like, think about it there. Jesus, right? For God's sakes. No, yeah, that was like fucking facepalm stupid logic right there. But yeah, it's like I wish you could have gotten Twin Blades weapons. Maybe there's a mod for the PC version or something like that, but I'm not willing to play it through again. But yeah, so that's like what the hell? You just give your head a shake, right? But I mean, again, whether you let Twin Blade live or if you kill him or whatever, I don't even know if you can kill him. Maybe. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't know if it's even him who sends assassins after you. But again, you never see the guy, so that's a kind of a letdown again, right? Another one of the quests that just kind of ends randomly. But so yeah, those are my complaints about that part of the game. Um, yeah, again, like the vast majority of my videos are just me, like just slaughtering bandits or hobs or whatever, and just gaining experience. Uh, Find the archaeologist again. Like you had to do so many quests to just find one thing, right? I don't know, like find the archaeologist, then you had to go do this, then you had to go do that and everything. Then you had to rescue the archaeologist and everything. It's just like, who is this fuck, right? Honestly. This is, I guess, maybe a Knothole Glade or something. Uh, yeah, and the hit stones shit. And, you get attacked for that for whatever reason. Yeah, the Temple of Ava was fucking useless. Uh, you get nothing good, honestly. It's like you get younger or something, but you have to donate a lot of damn money, which is just not worth it. And, interesting. Did they have white Balverines in the arena? Could have been, because if they did, that would really sort of, uh, uh, what is it, trivialize the story that the wife in Knothole Glade was telling you of her husband who got attacked by, the white Balverine and became the next one. Uh, yeah, classic werewolf mythology. Not a whole lot of variation there. Did I finally get Scorm's bow at this point? I'm not sure. Looks like I'm still trying to get it. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, at this point I'm killing guards, so I think it's likely that I've got it, because I don't need to worry about my alignment modifier. Never got drunk either. Again, didn't see a reason to. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's just bells and whistles. Like a lot of the things you can do in this game are just bells and whistles, right? Like giving gifts and everything, and like buying houses. I mean, it's all just bells and whistles, honestly. At its heart, it's just simply your average console role-playing game. Uh, it's got a lot of kitsch to it. It's got a lot of appeal. Especially as I said, the accents in the beginning of my little ramble are very entertaining. I don't know, if not for the fact that they're just kind of foreign and goofy sounding. Oh, what's that, y'all? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was entertained. This game did its job for the most part for me. Um, didn't like gambling a whole lot. Didn't see anything worth doing that with. Oh look, yes, there are white Balverines in the arena. Looks like there are a dime a dozen, huh? Because I guess they're breeding them there. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure the wife's dead husband is spinning in his grave. It's a very shallow grave. Yeah, and pretty much a little while after this, the game pretty much falls apart. Well, everything goes to shit, right? Jack of Blades basically takes control, kidnaps your mother, and then kills her, even though you spend all that fucking time breaking her out of Bargate prison, being imprisoned yourself, having to run through all those relay races, and then having to sneak around the guard and find his keys and everything. And you spend another year in fucking prison and everything, depending on how bad you are at it. Yeah, no, that was a giant slap in the face, honestly, because it's just like, oh wow, it's like, not only is it matricide, but you fucking work so hard, and now it's just taken away from you anyways, right? So that was a pain in the ass. There's the Solace Greatsword. Fucking so goddamn expensive. What weapon am I using now? Oh, I'm in Bowerstone North. No. I'm using. Oh, I think I'm using the Solace Greatsword at this point. Uh, Again, it's a two-handed sword, but like, fuck, I mean, where are my shields, buddy? Give me my fucking shields. And then, there's the whole graveyard path quest. Which, I mean, I don't know, yeah. Undead are kind of annoying. Plus, when you kill them, they let out those unearthly shrieks and everything, and you're just like, shut the fuck up, right? It's fucking annoying. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. Anything else new? Nostro's armor and everything that, it'd be cool if you could get something from Nostro instead of having, his helmet being able to snap your neck, or his armor would crumble away at the touch, or the sword is so dull and everything. I don't know. To me, there was no reason to make it like that. You should have gotten all of his shit, and that should have been like a fucking outfit or uniform, whatever they call it in this game. Uh, Trying to bullseye somebody's head off in this game is fucking hard as hell. Especially because, your fucking crosshair bounces around like you've got Parkinson's or something. And then here is, yeah, and Jack of Blades captures you. Then you're in prison, you have to run around. And then, yeah, have having the code. I don't know what the code was or something. Or oh yeah, to get the key or something. Yeah, because of course he'd just have it written there or whatever for all to see, because he takes them in there and reads them poetry and doesn't pay attention to them. Fucking moron. I guess they had to have some way to advance the plot. Yeah, again, I don't know. It's like I hadn't played this game in a while, so it's like me running through Bargate prison and everything. It's like I was getting my ass kicked walking around like that. And I think that the guard's uniform should have given you at least a little bit of little incognitus, but unfortunately, no, they just notice you right outright, even though you look exactly like them, even though I think that they're kind of orange and brown while you're black colored. So yeah, that was a pain in the ass there. A lot of this is sound like a pain in the ass. Windmill Hill and everything, and of course, you look like a decrepit zombie, you being so old and evil at this point. Yeah. It's funny, they sort of copied that from the Star Wars universe, how the more evil you get, it's like, the pale, sort of wrinkled, scarred flesh and everything, the horns coming out of your head and the flies flying around your head and everything. It's like, neat little kitschy things like that. And of course, right now I'm fighting Jack of Blades at this point. Splash, 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 splash. And you know what? I had never used slow time or whatever. I'd never used that before, but it is so useful, honestly. You are able to hit guys more often. They block less efficiently and everything. That's one thing that I found very useful that I had never used before. So that's one more useful thing that I found. Now, Is this Scythe guy dead or something, or was he just killed by that weird fucking skeleton dude? I don't know. Yeah, this little puzzle thing. I hate fucking timed puzzles. Fuck those. They're just there to make it stressful. I hate timed shit. Oh, it looks like Scythe is still around, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what he is, honestly. I don't think it's ever even explained. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not paying attention. Uh, yeah, what is this? Snow Peak or something? I have no clue. Then, you get to those massive heads that you can talk to. There are a few things that I heard that you can do with them, but I was never able to do a whole lot with them. I wanted to show as much as I could, but, you gotta make do with what you can. Every playthrough is different. Yeah. Only one steady human survived such an attack. He became a Balverine. So yeah, it basically tells you shit that you already know for whatever reason. You have to do, and this is the fucking fight with that gigantic fucking Jack of Blades dragon. That was such a pain in the ass, and it was never that fucking hard or anything. Oh, and now you can decide whether or not to put the mask on or something. What do I do? Oh, I throw it away. It's just like the fucking ring, like fucking Frodo who throws it in there like the ring, and then there's no Gollum there though to jump in after it. And then the game is over. Again, I gotta say, I like the little comic style cutscenes. They tell the story far better and far in a more entertaining way uh, than any in-game cutscene could. I've always liked sort of, whether it's not as full motion video, but I mean, I don't know. Uh, they say it's like, oh, I don't know, I don't like being taken out of the game's perspective or something with full motion video cutscenes, but I think they just do a better job, which is why I'm such a fan of Star Wars, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight. Uh, to me, yeah, as I said maybe before in another ramble, those cutscenes were the highlight of the game. They were not a hindrance; they were a fucking highlight. I absolutely loved them. They were live action Star Wars footage. At a time, it's like other than Rebel Assault 2 or something, which not a whole lot of people had played. Uh, yeah, there was not a whole lot to be had in that sort of way. So yeah, at this point, I just basically said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to waste my time with the other useless little tidbits of gameplay. So, but yeah, no. To be honest, Fable is a good game. I've only played the first Fable. I haven't played the second or the third. I've seen my brothers play the second and third. I don't think I'm ever going to play those. I don't think that they're entertaining in any way. I think that they're just a rehash of the original. They're just trying to recapture the glimmer that they had with the first game. And I got to tell you, it's like I like having like firearms in games, like muskets or like classic firearms like that, like muskets and wheel locks and flintlocks and everything like that. But again, just as a side note, it's like I just watched my brother play this, and he's fighting like soldiers and stuff who are like wearing lobster back coats and everything. My God, he's shooting these guys in the chest, and it's taking like 10 hits to kill the guy. I mean, my God, it's Knights of the Old Republic all over again. The guns are useless. I mean, it's like if you want to make them powerful, like make them rare or expensive or hard to get or something. Or, make it like, it takes a while to reload, but it does a lot of damage. But I mean, it's like, you're using a flintlock pistol. It's just boom, 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 boom. Pretty sure that no flintlock pistol worked that way. I mean, maybe they had like pepper box revolvers, though I think those were percussion caps. I don't know. No, yeah, that basically turned me right off from it. I was just like, you know what? If it's going to be, if they're going to be the equivalent of pop guns, then that's fucking useless. I don't know, but yeah. So Fable: The Lost Chapters, it was an entertaining game. I enjoyed it. I of course I play these games and film them or record them while I do it, so I don't feel the desire to go back waste just waste game time playing games that I had already played, because again, I've kind of lost a whole lot of faith in the modern day cinema, video game, TV scene and everything. But yeah, that's why I do this sort of thing, just so it's the sort of the last hurrah. I play it once, I have everything that I've done before, and I can just go back and see it there. But yeah, so that's those are my thoughts on Fable: The Lost Chapters. Thanks for listening, if any of you actually do. All right, have a good one. Skwatter out.